Good afternoon. I pray that your Wednesday was filled with spaces and places of joy, of peace, of happiness, that you had an opportunity to smile, to have a sense of calm, a sense of peace. Well, big announcement. I reached out and asked if people would be interested in a grief support group, and there was an overwhelming response of yes. So, my grief support group will begin on April the, hold on, 10th. It's a Saturday at 4 p.m. And I made it a Saturday very intentionally because typically people, when we are grieving, we still have to go on with our lives after the funeral or lack of funeral. So we go to work all week and we busy ourselves and we keep ourselves busy so we don't have to think, so we don't have to cry, so that we don't have to experience any of those emotions. And then comes Saturday. And we may begin the day doing our housework or doing whatever, but at some point, it's hard to outrun those feelings. It's hard to outrun those emotions. So it'll begin April the 10th at 4 p.m. I have listed on my Facebook pages as well as my Instagram page how you can contact me for further information. I want to read you something, a quote that I have on those posts. It said, "Grief never ends, but it changes. It's a passage, not a place to stay. Grief is not a sign of weakness nor loss of faith. It's the price of love. Grief never ends, but it changes." You know, a lot of times people will say to us, "Oh, when you going to stop grieving that loss? Ain't you over that yet?" Grief never really ends. It just changes. What'll happen is one day you will realize I'm not as sad as I was before, but that does not mean that there still is not a space in my heart of sadness. It's a passage, not a place to stay. We journey through grief, hence the name of the support group, Journeying Through Grief. Grief is not a sign of weakness. A lot of times people will say, "Oh, suck it up, be strong. That person wouldn't want you to cry." No, grief is a sign of being human as opposed to being weak. Nor is it a loss of faith. Yes, in a lot of faith traditions, when we have the funeral, we call it a homegoing celebration. And we celebrate the life of the one who had walked with us here on this earth, but we still grieve. We still grieve because we're human. And we grieve because it's the price of love. And the more that you love that person or that thing, the more you will grieve. But guess what? Folk will even grieve even if it was a challenging relationship, even if it was not the best. And there's always a story, I always tell this story about this man who used to wait on it for the bus at this bus stop. And at the bus stop, there was a house with a fence around it, and there was a dog who was on a chain. And every day as the man waited for the bus, the dog would growl at him and snap at him and try to get off the chain. And this went on for years and years and years and years and years. And then one day when the man went to the bus stop, the dog was gone. Apparently the dog had died. And guess what? Even though it had been a very tumultuous relationship, even though there was no love lost between the man or the man missed him. The man grieved the dog. And so sometimes it's not even just about love. Sometimes we even grieve that which was not for our better good. And so, as I said, this is a quick video because I need to go eat my lunch. But I invite you to look at my posts, and if this is speaking to you, if this is a place that you think may be helpful for you, reach out and shoot me an email, and I will tell you next steps. Love you all. Talk with you later. Bye-bye.